Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Phoenix Club. Yay.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Phoenix Pod.
It's the Phoenix Pod. Pull off into paradise.
I'm never tired of seeing Lewis get so animated when he does that.
Oh, do you know what made it for me? Just Lewis has got a headset on. It's a gaming headset with and it's just a little minuscule tweak of the microphone just to get it in the right spot. Just the right spot for the ultimate audio pleasure.
I'm a perfectionist when it comes to me performing. What can I say?
But it never fails to please. That's all I'm going to say. Never fails.
Oh, good. Then I'll keep doing it then.
Well, I'm, of course, your host, AXC, joined once again by a man who is half a man.
Oh, Lewis is pulling his face.
That was like way off.
No, Flinders, you were far too behind there, mate. Far too behind.
Oh, well. I'm starting to tank these now.
See, you go on a couple of episodes of like being on a good run, and then all of a sudden you start slipping.
Yeah, Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears. I've gone all Chicago Bears. There we go. Start off well, and then also just jump off a fucking cliff.
every like British listener will be listening to that going, "Fuck's he on about?" And then there'll be like one guy in America somewhere just pissing himself laughing, going, "I couldn't agree more."
Yeah, I can't follow up on that. Sorry.
So that's why
there's something
that's
for
why
everybody.
he is stupid. He's sexy. He's allegedly sexy, even.
Allegedly.
And he's called Flinders.
Yeah,
stupid, sexy Flinders.
It's me. It's stupid. Definitely stupid. Allegedly sexy. I don't know. Don't know who's looking.
Well, you've got a wife, so you're doing better than both of us.
She might have just been feeling sorry. No, but yeah, today feels like I'm wearing a Super Mario t-shirt, which I don't know why I'm wearing it, if I'm brutally honest. It's a bad omen. We said off pod just before we started recording, wearing this t-shirt, but I really should get rid of it because I've done 2 driving lessons. If you don't know, I'm trying to pass my test. God knows why. And I've worn the same t-shirt both times and failed. So I need to do something about this t-shirt. The t-shirt must die.
Maybe wear it inside out.
Have a shower
Maybe
first.
the look. Maybe.
And the other voice you can hear, he's our resident Stowaway. He's up there, ranting deck, in the kitchen somewhere.
I'm a dab hand in the kitchen. That's, not
Rue Britannia!
It's the Stowaway Lewis Ogden.
All right.
He's doing fine.
He's doing fine. We fucked that one up for the first time.
See, nothing offensive, nothing blue.
Well, I go from Clinton Baptiste to we're acoustic. We don't need electric.
Oh, no way.
You could go Roy Walker, but Kenny Senior Roy Walker, but I didn't know you were. I did like the Irish accent. Well, I'm Irish.
Well, I'm Irish. Oh yeah. Oh well.
So of course we are on to season 2, episode 5 of the Phoenix Pod, aptly titled "Ladies' Night."
Yeah. Getting towards the end. It's guys. This has come around quick.
It has.
It has really come around quick. Just
Shame we couldn't have done this 2 years ago, eh, Paul?
As if, if only there was an audience out there for this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, I
If
look at
only.
myself. I look at myself in the mirror sometimes and shake my head. Don't worry. Sometimes you just have to go with it. Just go with the flow. Just you have a great idea. Just go with it. Just jump at it, rather than sit on it for 2 years.
So, of course, we start episode 5 in Brian's house. As we can hear the midweek lottery on the TV.
Oh God, yes.
As we can see, a cluster of an overloaded extension lead, which must be about 9 or 10 plugs in it.
Oh, absolutely.
Of plugs coming off plugs.
It looks like my shed when I'm doing a podcast. There. Let's be honest. It's a mound of melted plastic waiting to happen.
Yeah.
And we also see the front room full of kamikaze lager.
Because he can't fucking shift it.
Yeah, because the extension lead or all the plug sockets for the extension cables, it's there's 6 or 7 crates of kamikaze beer just stacked one on top of the other, and then you've just obviously got the extension cable just sat on top.
Yeah, he's using the beer as basically a side table, isn't he?
Yeah,
it's just stacked there, just there, like his storeroom.
So we cut to the hallway and see Brian coming downstairs on his Schindler's stair lift.
Yeah, the midweek lottery. Come on. Here we go. And then he bashes the little arm bit of the standard stair lift. He's like, come on, you frigger.
They are slow, but out of personal experience of using one of those daily in part of my job because I was a lazy bastard. He's what he used to do. I used to do with it as well because at one point I used to work in a care home and they had one going up the big flight of stairs and you had to have the washing. It was in the basement, and you'd go, do you know what? I'm not carrying up the fucking stairs. So you put your baskets on the standard stair lift and send it up remotely and then follow it up. So I'm lazy bastard. And also go, thank you, and just walk off with it.
You got to keep
do that with dinners as well.
You got to keep it greased up though, so it's a good way of keeping it ticking over. It's the same way as if you leave a car for ages and you try to start it off but you can't because the battery's dead. Yes. You're just squeaky wheel gets the grease.
Yeah. And that's my excuse, and I'm going to use that one. I consider that one stolen. But yeah, they don't move any quicker than what he's actually doing there. Many a time you just saw there, hurry up, you frigger. Come on, move. Got other stuff to do. Come on, I've got to go. Come on, hurry up, you frigger. But yeah, it was going slow.
So we cut to the TV. Well, we cut to the front room to just see the TV and lights go out. As we can see Brian saying, "Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa," followed by
shitter.
It's one shitter, then 2 shits back to back, and then 2 shitters straight after.
You see,
I made a point
kind of
of just sort of
Yeah, it's this kind of analysis that our listeners have come to expect.
Yeah, I did have to rewind it 5 or 6 times to actually get it. It does say it quite quick, oh shitter, shitter. He's like, right, keep calm, Brian. What would 4 a herd do?
To be fair, shit and shit is what I sometimes use in work in college and stuff. Because someone would tell me something, but shitter, shit. I'm walking on just going shitting, shitter. And then it just brings us straight to the opening credits, which is quite like a small, a short scene for the pre-scene sort of thing.
I'd probably say it's the shortest, actually.
Yeah.
I can't think of any that are any shorter. There probably is, but I can't think of any.
Mm.
Most of them are actually quite relatively decent length. I mean, you've literally got him coming halfway down the stairs with National Lottery on, and that's pretty much it.
The only one that I can think of that would be, probably as short or maybe just a tiny little bit longer would be Piss Kick.
Yeah.
That's probably... Yeah. It's probably sort of similar length or perhaps a little bit shorter.
Spelling it wrong. Spelling it wrong.
Spelling it wrong. Piss kick.
Piss kick.
It's a piss kick. It's supposed to say psychic.
You know, thanks to this podcast, to doing this podcast, every time I go up and down the promenade now and I see one of them Gypsy Pellegrino places, I can't help but say to myself, piss kick now. I can't help it.
So we get the opening credits, and then we jump back into Brian's house, but it's now daytime. Brian slumped in a stair lift asleep, spit in the corner of his mouth. He wakes up and looks around as his face says it all, that he'd been there all night. And he sniffs his fingers and says, "Oh, shit. Help!" As we then get an external shot of Brian's house and cut to the Tony Hill suite as Max and Kenny Sr. Sat there, posted in the background advertising Ladies' Night, and Paddy's reading the catalogue, shaking his head.
Oh,
Spencer's cleaning glasses.
Yes. He's reading what is essentially the Ann Summers catalogue. Other adult-orientated sort of like stores are available. But this reminds me of...
It's basically the Argos catalogue of filth.
Yeah, and you know what? There was once upon a time you could order them, because I remember when we were living in a block of flats, and there was a couple of... I think there was a guy, I think he might have been a couple of floors underneath what we were, and the guy used to order a Pabo catalogue. And it was like adult stuff in it. It had all like lingerie, toys, DVDs, you name it, he had it. And if I remember correctly, it was my brother who stole it. That's how we knew what was in it. But yeah. So yeah, I remember looking through these myself. They are as bad as Paddy says.
Well, as Paddy's opening line is like, have you seen some of the gear in here? I didn't think Potter would have a ladies' night. As he flicks through it, look at that. Whips, chains, dildos. Well, tonight, are you working? As he's stood with Spencer and says, no, it's women only.
Yeah.
As Paddy's, bet it is. Hey, you know these ladies' nights, don't you? As he laughs knowingly, so does Spencer, and Spencer stops and no. But then, come on, Spence, you must spend your fair share. And looks up and down at him. Then again. Well, let me tell you, my friend, the wine's not the only thing that flows. All these bored housewives will be gagging for it.
Well, Mum's an housewife.
Spencer, is she? Does she look like that? And Spencer's like...
She look like that.
Oh, God. No, I did watch the commentary for this, listen to the commentary for this. Now, I'm not going to bring up the commentary too often in this because there wasn't much of note. But they are still laying it into him on the commentary.
Let me guess, it started with there he is, the bastard.
Yeah, along them lines. As apparently he said this is the thing he was most ashamed of doing. And Paddy was like, oh, that's strange, because he always said he was always having a laugh on set. So... yeah, so still a bit of obvious. I think you've done it in one sitting, obviously all 6 episodes, and yeah, there's obviously bad blood going all the way through it. Commentary wise, I'll play as well say it now. Basically, all they did was talk about what takeaway they were going to have after after he'd finished watching, and talked about the end scene. That was it. That's all of note on this whole episode.
So we then cut to Max and Kenny Sr. They're looking at the catalogue, and Max is, she's beautiful. As Kenny's just, look at that, lovely body. But it's like it's a catalogue for like motorhomes and RVs with prices underneath. As Max is saying, I love one of them. It's always been a dream of mine, get one of them things and take off cross country like Easy Rider.
He had a bike.
He had a bike.
You know what I mean? Same thing. Mate of mine, jacuzzi it is. Did he? Just the one?
Just the one, yeah. just Max looking knowingly over as if he's talking shit.
Hey, look at these here. Half price, reconditioned. How much is that one? What are we readers on?
3995.
3995.
3995. Oh. Don't think so, Max. Just
No.
stick to the Volvo.
Stick to the Volvo. And he put like, keep dreaming.
Jerry St. Clair enters and asks if anyone's seen Brian. So everyone's just sort of,
Just ignore.
no.
I got the impression they just basically ignored him, saying, "Yeah, we don't know now, so fuck you."
There's a very slight shake of the head from Kenny Senior, but bar that, it's as if they're just sort of like blanking him.
Yeah.
So we're back in Brian's house as he's unravelled the wool from his jumper to make a length of cord. You see his t-shirt underneath with like a happy yellow face on, and then we can see that the Brian's POV the phone as he's trying to get the receiver. as he's sort of trying to lasso it, come on, Potter. This is the one. Come on, that's it. Come to Daddy.
And he just knocks the phone on the floor eventually, doesn't he?
He knocks the phone on the floor, and it cuts to Jerry in the club, who just like hears like the dial tone of like an engaged phone. So then, back in Brian's house, he's managed to get hold of an umbrella, and he's like trying to unjam something underneath the bottom of the chair,
like the emergency release or something like that.
So then he hears the car approach. Jerry appears at the front door as we hear Tastes of Clown by Smokey Robinson. Jerry, is that you? Brian, is that you?
Brian, is that you?
I'm trapped, man. I'm trapped. Trapped on the stairs. Get the door in.
Get the door in.
What? With my back? No, you fuck you too.
So then Jerry obviously goes to kick the door, puts his foot through it. He says, "You broke me door. You broke me door.
You broke me door.
Shoulder it, you big dick."
Yeah. All the while, as I've noticed, by the way, at that time in the morning, the postman has been and jammed his letterbox full of letters, and he's sat there the entire time, probably screaming, "Help me! Help me!" And the postman's gone, "Nope, fuck you," and gone.
It's either that or like Brian's been asleep before like the postman's come, but given how postmen are, you wouldn't put it past them, to be honest.
So
Not you postman.
As Brian's saying, "You broke my door," Jerry just moans, "I broke my foot." Shut up, you girl, get me down.
What's that smell? Never mind that smell.
Now, I had a Mandela effect with this scene, actually. After I watched it, I was like, oh, yeah, shit. I always thought, for some reason, that Jerry said, he's like, "Can you smell piss?" I always thought that was what he said, coming in the door, like, after a little while. I was like, "Is that piss?" Is it like never? I don't the never mind bit, but I was always thought it was like, "Can you smell piss?" It's not. So obviously, what's that smell? I always thought.
Is that not like a deleted scene or an alternate scene, maybe?
Possibly, but I like I say, when we get to the special features and stuff like that, when we cover it, we'll look into it there. But I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I think it's just something I thought in my head and gone, yeah, that's what he said.
Unless you've thought of this scene and the scene with the hand around the toilets where he just finishes with covered in piss.
Could be. But yeah, I always thought like at that bit, he says, yeah, that's that piss. So, never mind.
So as Jerry asks what happens, Brian says, "Bloody power cut, that's what happened. Been up here all night. Go on, get me down."
Well, where's your fuse box?
Under the stairs.
Oh, it's just tripped out.
I think Brian tries to stop him.
Jerry!
Yeah. Brian just flies to the bottom of the stairs because it's like he puts the electric on the latches. The emergency latch is probably with his umbrella. He's probably clipped it, and because the electric come back on, the lock's just gone boom, 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 and he's gone.
Well, Jerry, what are you doing down there? So then we cut straight to the Golden Phoenix suite, as it's pretty much described as any oriental tat that they could get hold of, with a big golden eagle on the wall, as Jerry wheels Brian into the room. "Keep your eyes closed. Tight, closed, aren't they? They're closed." And Brian
yeah.
Wide open, yeah.
Yeah.
They're
okay.
closed.
And open them. The Golden Phoenix.
The Golden Phoenix. And Jerry goes, do you like it? And Brian goes, no, I do not like it. Looks like a Chinese brothel.
He's got Ravon spinning the table around.
Jerry denies it as Brian says, "What are you laughing at, stock? We're a working men's club, not a Chinese restaurant." But Brian, listen, I've had this idea. We can be both. We could be a walking men's club.
Men's club.
You can just see Brian just groan inside as he says that.
But we get a potterism here. So we get, Jerry, and oh no, Jerry. People around here, they don't want chicken chop suet and sweet sold separately. They don't.
I was going to bring that up. I couldn't quite remember what part of the conversation it came in. But yeah, I'd be actually physically laughing. It's like, well, sweet sold separately. No one wants sweet sold separately.
There's another potterism later on in the episode when the actual restaurant gets unveiled, but obviously we'll cover that when we get to it. But this isn't the first. This isn't the last of the potterisms for this episode.
I see. I was only aware of the one, so I've missed this one. So this would be a surprise for me too.
So Jerry is trying to sort of convince him with like, they do, Brian. You're missing it all. They can't get enough of it. Can't make it fast enough, lads. I'm telling you, this is what we need. Let's give it a try. It's worth a fortune. As Brian retorts, don't you think I'm traumatised enough? Right, you show me this. Don't you think that? What I've been through? As Ray asks, I heard about that. You're all right. It's just a blur.
No, it's just a blur. It's just a blur till Chairman Mao kicked me front door in. And Ray just goes, must have shit yourself. It's like, thank you, big mouth.
Didn't take long, did it? But it's the fact of Ray. But I'm sure there's like a little cut to Ray Von where he just looks at Jerry and it's like, because he didn't actually know.
No.
So, but then we're in the Galaxy Lounge. It's Holy Mary's bar and a table full of assorted sex toys. She picks up a package as Donna's putting tickets on the toys. It ends in a 5 to win a naughty prize. As Holy Mary reads, "Love eggs."
Oh God, the way she describes this is amazing. Alan has Coxie has the Bible.
I do.
Yeah. I'll handle this.
The lady in charge, Donna, as she's titled in this book, says, "That's right. Just pop them up your flu before you go to work, and I guarantee you'll come before the boss does."
Honestly,
Mary carries on reading.
Yeah, this Holy Mary character. So the Holy Mary character, I think this whole scene writes herself. It just writes itself. You go for the person that's got the most religious sort of like views. You wouldn't think someone like her would be into this sort of thing.
No. So she's very like looking at the packages and just sort of like after she's been described it's like, all right, okay.
Yeah, love eggs is probably sounds like the most innocent thing that she's got going there as well.
Probably.
Yeah. So you find out later they're not.
We're outside of Max and Paddy as there's some ladies entering. Evening, ladies, have a nice night. We will.
Oh, we will. We will. We will. Do you hear that, Max? They're gagging for it. Oh, I've got to get a look in there.
Yeah, got to get in there. Yeah.
So back in the Galaxy Lounge, it's quite busy. Holy Mary's behind the bar, sweating, banging on the bar and gasping her breath.
Yeah, Lee's giving way underneath her.
Puzzled, and she's going, I'm all right.
Joyce is like, do you want to go in? Do you want to go in the back room? Just have a little sit down. And Mary's like, no, I'm all right.
She's doing the motion. She's doing that motion sort of like when she's squatting down slightly as well. And you like when you bang your knee. You're like, shit. Oh. The Peter Griffin noise. Yeah.
We're back outside Max and Paddy. Paddy's like, let's be getting going in there now. So Max said, You farted.
Yeah, I can't help it. Max just sort of like takes the inside of his jacket. It's like, that stinks. Yeah, animal. And Max just sort of like, I'll be back in a minute. And he goes inside and he's like, oh, bloody hellfire. Then another group of ladies are coming in and he's like, come on in, ladies. Yeah, sorry about the drains. Sorry about the drains, love.
But then we get the last one who enters, he says, "That's all right."
Oh.
As she glances at Max.
Yeah, have we seen the last of this lady? You never know. Or will we?
So then back in the Galaxy Lounge, we've got Donna with, "Now, ladies, in your sexy starter kit, we've got a whip, some handcuffs, and a blindfold. You don't want to look at him while he's doing it, do you?" There you go. And also, she holds up a jar. Can never get my tongue around this one. Let me think now. Choc, chip, dick lick. This has got to be an improvement, hasn't it? There's no, don't taste that, love. It's a lubricant. There's a woman there with a tube just like, ugh.
It's fucking luminous blue.
And all the way through, sort of like, you know, the woman in charge of Ladies' Night, you know, describing what's in the sexy kit. You've just got sort of like Paddy peeking in through one of the sort of like the windows that leads through to the Galaxy Lounge, just like properly like, oh yeah, oh aye, yeah, I've got to get a bit of that.
Yeah, he's like, you can tell when he was on the door, he's thinking of ways to get inside this thing, and we find out his way of getting in there very soon.
So, as the woman's about to dip her tongue into this jar of lubricant, we just see her sweet Holy Mary behind the bar screaming, "Sweet Jesus!"
Coxie, do you want to have a go? Coxie, do you want to have a go at reenacting this scene, or do you want to pass?
I'd rather not. It's hard enough doing Dan Perry.
What made me giggle though while the scene was going on? Obviously you see what's going on where, you know, Holy Mary collapses to the floor, but behind her there's actually like a stand where they're selling batteries. And there's a sign attached to it. Lewis has seen it, and it says "dildos not included."
I didn't notice that.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that as well. I noticed that they were selling batteries, but I didn't see the little dildos not included bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just written on a piece of cardboard above it. And it just says, like, it got me giggling. Because normally, like I say, the joke is batteries not included, isn't it? But
so, as Holy Mary, as this says orgasms, we get Donna just saying, "Another satisfied customer," and all the women piss themselves. As Max is stood outside by himself, we see the woman who he spoke to him before enter. So, "What, love?" "Yes, having a breather." As he pulls out, I said, "Do you want a light?" And then pulls out a lighter for her. As he looks at her name badge.
Are you here for the ladies? Are you here for the ladies' night, Fanny? She's like, "Fanny."
Fanny?
It's like, "Oh no, this isn't right. But this is my nameplate. It was either this or Brenda Blowjob."
Was it Fanny Tickler or something like that? Or Fanny?
Yeah, it was Fanny Tickler.
Yeah, Fanny Tickler.
Max is like, "Good choice."
So as they make small conversation, she's asking if he sees a lot of violence and stuff, and he's, "Oh, I get the odd knobhead, you know, but nothing I can't handle."
A northern way of saying it, isn't it? You get the odd knobhead.
She asks, "So you can handle yourself, can you?" "Oh, I got to be able to in this game, love. Comes with the territory."
Working on a just
sort of like,
store.
There's like a little look on his face of just sort of like, "Oh, I think I might be able to impress this woman here."
Oh yeah, he thinks he's in.
Yeah.
He thinks he's in. He thinks he's getting a phone number, and he does.
Yeah.
He does.
But not for what you might think.
Well.
So back in the Galaxy Lounge, Donna's still doing a spiel. She says, "Did you know it's the second most sensitive part of your body?" There you go. She hands a woman off a vibrator as they all start pointing at their noses and laughing.
Well,
That's 1999, that one.
I don't think I've ever seen sort of like a scene of so many women with like vibrating dildos just sort of like, trying to tickle their noses. It's a very unique scene to be sort of like to be watching.
An interesting way of testing if that is the dildo for you by shoving it up your schnoz.
Well, like they say, there's the nose is the second most sensitive part of the human body, apparently.
Yeah, we'll go with that. I would say it's any part of a millennial, but there you go.
So, as Donna continues, it sucks, pumps, and fits all car lighters. And don't forget your Vibe shine for keeping them fresh.
You fucking car lighter.
As Max is back outside with Paula, as he's telling a story of, one time this guy came at me. He had a knife. I say one guy.
Right. Well, I say one guy. There were four of them.
Four of them.
Right?
Proper inflating the story to impress her.
Gets me at the back entry. Someone comes at you with a knife and they're tooled up. You've got to do a bit of split second thinking, Fanny. You see, it was either him or me. And I'm
still here. They don't mess with it, Daddy. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang.
Kiss, bang, bang.
Get Kano.
As Paula asks, do you ever do any private work? What do you mean, like pointing?
Like pointing.
No, I've got. I need someone taken out.
Oh,
what,
you mean
like
a death
service?
No, it's my husband. All right, what about him?
I want someone to finger him.
I want someone to finger him. I beg your pardon.
Hey. Oh, God.
I want him bumped off. I want him rubbed out. I want him dead. You want him what, love? Oh, I get it. Where's Beadle?
Where's Beadle?
Yeah, because for reference, if anyone's wondering, the Beadle references towards like a setup show, shall we say, where they used to have hidden cameras and someone would be like play a practical joke on someone who you would nominate.
It was Punked before Punked was a thing.
There you go. Thank you. It was Punked. Yeah,
Was it Candid Camera by any chance, or was that like something?
It was the thing that came after Candid Camera.
Right.
Yeah, because
I think Candid Cam was more like the American version that then came over here, but we always had Beadles about.
Yeah.
And then.
Because he tended to find that Jeremy Beadle, who was the host of the show, would dress in disguise, like he'd be a window cleaner, he'd be somewhere like, or it'd be like he put like a big like beard on. It was basically what if you watch Anton Deck's Saturday Night Takeaway, he basically when Anton Deck dress up and fool a celebrity, he was doing that but on the public, essentially, and then you filmed it. So yeah, so he thought so he obviously that was a reference back then because this was filmed like 2001. So like, yeah, this is so surreal, it can't be true. So he's like, all right, Jeremy, all right, Beadle, where are you? It's like they had some scenario. For example, one scenario I can think of, remember, was very famous on Beadle's about, where there was a painter decorator and his van got pushed into a dock with all this stuff in it, which obviously didn't have in it. He had absolutely mental. So it's like something really serious, sort of like, but it can't be true. Case in point.
So, I'm not taking the piss. I want it done. I want him dead. You want your husband dead? I've got money. I can pay you. I can pay whatever it costs. As Max looks at her like confused, and I've got here written in the script, she thinks "fuck you" and turns. As she said, forget it, right? Just forget I said it. I'm going to get it done. You don't want to do it? Fine. I'm going to get it done. Whoa, hey, love.
So you serious?
Something like this, it's not cheap, you know. How much?
3,995.
Five? Call it $4 grand.
Call it $4 grand.
Right, fine. When can you do it? I don't know. I'll also make a few calls, you know. Put a few feelers out. As she gives him his paper. It's like, what's this? It's like my mobile. Give me a number. Give me a call when it's sorted.
And he's like taking a bag. He's like, oh, I've got a phone number.
And it's just sort of like the realization of, oh shit, what have I got myself in for here?
Overinflated himself, and it's bit him on the arse.
He's done a posse.
Yeah.
So she goes back inside, and that's the end of part one.
I can do that one. Just.
As we come to part 2 in the Galaxy Lounge, Donna's doing a spiel. There's ladies, have I got a treat for you tonight? It's cabaret time. Will you please welcome on stage? He's here at very short notice. The Lord Love Rocket.
Hey, the second appearance of Lord Love Rocket.
We're here. Let's get ready to rumble by Anton Deck.
Which wasn't the original song. Yeah, I like it, but it wasn't the original song they used. They used a different song. I can't remember which song it was because the commentary wasn't that interesting, but I just caught that bit there. And they did the dance to that song, but then couldn't use it. They weren't cleared to use it. So they used Let's Get Ready to Rumble. And it just so happened that it fit the song perfectly. They looked out on it.
Well, I thought it was on purpose because I thought, oh, that's a nice little callback to the Bingo Hall episode from that Peter Kay thing.
I just think they'll have like a certain set of music that are allowed to use. So he keeps going back to it and it's safe, isn't it? You don't have to worry about someone going, hey, you can't use that because he's already got permission to use it. But I he's used this song before. I couldn't quite remember where from, but he definitely used it somewhere else. And like I say, it was just a pure fluke that it actually matched up perfectly with the dance that they already did to a different song.
Mm.
So it's miraculous. So,
as I've got here in my notes, spotlight on the bare arse, and it said, well, in brackets G-string, and it says, we tilt up, reveal it's Paddy. He turns and starts to dance erotically, wearing devil's horns and carrying a three-pronged devil's fork, a droopy moustache, and a tattoo of boxing gloves on his shoulder.
Oh, on the commentary on this, actually. I did say there weren't much commentary. This little bit got me a little bit. It was a little bit all right. Someone said to me, looked like Freddie Mercury in this. And the bit where after this scene later on where they've got the broom-handled Mauser.
Broom-handled Mauser.
And he rolls up in the car. They're doing the bit where Freddie Mercury on a Queen concert, you know, he does like, oh.
Yeah.
And they do that. They do that for about a minute, taking the piss out of Paddy. You just hear go, "Way!" They're holding it for that long.
So, as the women are screaming and going wild, we're back outside with Max and Paula. I've made a few calls. It's going to cost you $8 grand.
$8 grand?
$8 grand?
You said it was 4.
It's a 2-man job. If it was a 1-man job, 2-man job. Yeah.
It's 8.
Yeah. Price on the street, $8 grand.
So, but she says, I'm just thinking it's a lot of money to me, that.
That's all in, you know. Body disposal, petrol. You know, all in.
So this other bloke, is he any good or what?
He's the best. And then you cut to Paddy grinding on top of a woman.
That's literally like a proper like quick scene though. Back out to outside where it's the price on the streets is $8 grand. As we just hear Paula say, right, and then we hear a scream. Just hang on, love.
There's sort of like there's a scream and there's like a bang, like a pop that happens before the scream.
It could be an inflatable penis that popped.
Probably. It's inflatable filth, more like.
10-foot cock and balls, man. Don't look nothing else.
Speaking of inflatable filth.
Oh, there you are. It's like walking around Blackpool in season.
It's not how it looks.
And then they're carrying inflatable penises as well.
It's not how it looks. So Max runs into the Galaxy Lounge as the women are chatting on the stage, and Paddy's in the corner trying to fight them off with an inflatable penis. As we're in the gents' toilet, as Paddy's bitches. I tell you what, if I hadn't farted, they'd have ripped my head off.
They'd rip my head off.
So what do you reckon? She wants to kill her husband. Is she a mental?
Oh, it doesn't seem it.
And she's offered us £1,000.
£1,000? I'll blow his head off.
I'll blow his head off.
I'll blow his head off. It cuts to the blue Volvo.
Yeah, we
Blue
cut inside
Volvo
Max's
in the middle of the
Volvo.
countryside.
Max is driving. He's got Terry, his brother, in the back, and Paddy in the passenger seat. As Max says, right, we're having a little field trip today.
He brings something out that's wrapped up in like a red velvet sort of like. You can tell it's something that's been looked after. Paddy's
says,
was that Pat lunch?
Paddy's there yawning, going, it made me watch Leon 4 times last night.
Leon 4 times last night. I had to sleep sitting up.
All part of the training.
Also, there's just sort of, there's a little bit as well. You notice, like, Terry, Max's brother, was wearing a very old school Manchester United top.
Yes, he was.
And young Kenny is always wearing the Manchester City top. So I always find, like, quite interesting.
It's quite
Sort of
Manchester,
like,
though, isn't it? So
two ends of the spectrum, really.
Well, they've had quite a few football teams actually represented in Phoenix Nights anyway, because you've got obviously young Kenny with the Man City tops all the time, and you've obviously got Max's brother, obviously with the Man United top. He was in last season as well, with another Man United top. Actually, I think that was an even more retro one. But then obviously you had the Bolton were balmy, we're on the piss tonight. They were all, they're all wearing Bolton shirts.
How far away are they?
Who you calling tattoo, you long streak of piss?
Obviously, there'll be more sporting apparel once we get into the spin-off.
Absolutely.
Well,
Max unwraps something from a piece of velvet. As Paddy asks, you don't have to pack lunch?
No.
Have I?
It's like, what's that? What's that? That, my friend, is a broom handle Moser. It's like, it's what? It's not a gun. It's a broom handle Moser.
It's an antique.
It's an antique. There's no wrong with it. My granddad's this. Shot a German with it. And Paddy goes, what, in the war?
No Benidorm.
Max just goes, no Benidorm. He's having a row over a sun lounging.
Yeah.
As Terry chimes in with, he didn't do things by half, Grandad.
Oh, yeah.
He gave me this, you know, his 13th birthday.
You
It's
are.
like, get out.
I got a space hopper. And that burst.
Max just goes, I know. And looks out the window and goes, I shot it.
So then we're in the field as Terry's nervously placing empty bottles of French beer in brackets on the fence. As he puts it down, it explodes. And he goes, bollocks! Hey! You nearly killed me!
You killed me! Max just goes, shut up, you soft bastard! Put him on the wall!
I love the way he says that.
The problem is when those Phoenix Nights like videos are going around, the Google Translate or Google Dictate thing. Yeah. It was like roses are red or whatever it was, and he said, "Shut up, you soft bastard!"
Put him on the wall.
So then back with Terry, he's wiping glass off himself. He goes to put more bottles on the fence as Paddy's holding the gun. There's Max on his arm. Gently does it. Just hold it.
You got to treat it like a lady. You just got to relax your wrists. It's like, I know how to shoot a gun. It's not a gun. It's a broom handle Moser. It's like, look, I know how to shoot. I know what I'm doing. It's like, all right, okay. And Paddy just like fires the gun 2 times and just off camera you just hear her. And Max just walks off, just sort of like, oh, fucking hellfire.
Yeah, we're coming to him in the Volvo, don't we? And it's like, I can't believe you shot me brother.
Can't believe you shot me brother.
4 hours in
casualty for 4 hours. It'll be right. Mum's going to go up the wall. It'll be right. It's like, it's supposed to be shifting the fridge tonight.
But he'll live it. It was only a flesh wound. So, as Fanny said, it'll be right. Max gives him a look. So what's the crack here anyhow? She said, go in there with him now. We're going to have a meal. So you're getting pissed. She'll drive me out into the sticks for a shag. That's when we take over.
You take over.
But as
I'm
Paddy
not
then says,
not for a grand.
Not very
not shag him, shoot him, you prick. As Paddy looks at his watch, having something to eat? There'll be ages. I've got to work tonight. Potter's open at the restaurant tonight, you know.
I mean, we cut straight. Funny enough, we cut to the restaurant.
But then I've got, interestingly here in the actual script, it says all main cast and the regular. Well, all main cast, and then it says, and the regular who played the nonce.
Wow. Okay.
And then followed up in brackets with in false tan and nappy. A few reporters and photographers, and then there's a countdown from 5.
The guy with the false tan and nappy is the guy that's wielding is doing the gong.
Oh, yeah.
Where did he play a nonce? Or is this implying something?
Well, it says who played the nonce, so like past tense.
Yeah. That's fucking weird. We'll have to look that up. Not that I want to.
So Jerry and Brian count down as Jerry said, I honourably declare the Golden Phoenix open. It even says the nonce in the nappy hits a huge gong. Jerry pulls the string. Jerry pulls the string and unveils the gold dragon with the Golden Phoenix underneath. There are flashbulbs and a small round of applause. As Brian said, this is Jerry St. Clair, licensee. If you'd like to put any of your questions to him, do feel free. As we get a reporter who's like, Mr. St. Clair, Jane Crossley, Bolton Independent leader. Where did you get the idea? Well, what happened was, as Brian then just literally cuts him off, it came to me in a flash. That's St. Paul on the road to Damascus.
Yeah, that's the Brianism.
So this is like inside this
like St. Paul on the road to Damascus.
Oh, yes.
Talk about wood for trees. We're selling food behind the bar today. I said, let's open a restaurant. Next thing you know, Jed's a millionaire. Things are going to change now, love. It's going to be out with the sausage roll and in with the spring. As another reporter asks, where did you find the chefs? And Brian looks at Jerry nervously with, there they are, Anton Deck, our Barbara's lads, God rest his soul. As they both wave. Look at them, fresh out of cooking college.
Can't speak a word of the Queens, but they can knock the shit out of an egg chow mein faster than you can say triad.
That'd be chuckling, to be fair. He got the fucking nationality wrong as well.
So, as the female reporter then asks, Mr. St. Clair, what do you think the rival clubs will make of all this? As Jerry again starts with, well, to be honest, what I hope, as Brian cuts him off
Balls
again with...
Balls to them. I'm dead, Perry.
They can go and whistle. Something like this will kick Clubland up the arse. They've had a shape up or ship out. We'll make a fortune, Cookie.
Okay.
Here, we've got some of them made fortune cookies. Just crack one off, son.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And then we've got a reporter who's like, cracks one open. What's it say?
Piss flaps.
Piss flaps.
You just seen all the staff giggling, apart from obviously the cooks, because I probably don't know what's been written down on it.
Let's get Brian looking at piss flaps.
Piss flaps. What's all that about? Piss flaps. Then you cut back to Max and Paddy in the car. Max is there just going,
oh god,
this would make a good film.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
See, because he's got a good story. And Paddy goes, who play you? It's like, Steven Seagal. It's no one else. Got the hand speed. You know what I mean? And then there's a pause and Paddy goes, thinking more Danny DeVito. It's like, you cheeky bastard. Danny DeVito is about 4 foot.
Oh, here we go. Here they come now. We're on.
But as Max starts the engine, we see Paula outside getting into the car with her husband. As Max, put my tape in.
And it's is it Phil Collins or is it Genesis?
Phil Collins in the air.
Yeah. So I don't know if it was just Phil Collins or if it was the band he was part of. So
no, it's just Phil Collins.
I thought it was just Phil Collins on this one, yeah. But yeah, through the air of the night.
And Max is very nervously just sort of like, that's them. That's them. Right, okay. That's them ears. Yeah. He's just very nervously, just sort of like nervous blinking.
Yeah.
That's her there with him. That's him with her. And that's it. There they go.
That's it.
So they drive off, and then Max indicates as they turn out the side road and follow behind. They drive back 400 yards behind, and then they cut to a dirt track as Paula's car pulls over. Paula's in a blanket, his husband's in front of her. It says, "We'll call him Paul."
Thank you.
So Paul says, "Move up a bit." We get, "Hang on, I'm moving." We've not done this for a long time, have we, love? Right, you want to see him, do you? She said, "We're not here for a picnic, are we?" Say please, then.
Does anyone behave like this when getting the knob out? Seriously. Do you want to see him? There he is, all there, standing up for some attention.
As little talk as possible,
she said, "Oh God," and then pretty please get him out, and he goes, "Hang on," but she's like, "Get on with it." there he is. There's the pork soldier out on parade. Attention. And he's there, you are, grab him, come on. And Max and Paddy appear from behind and jam the gun into the back of his neck. Hey, what's going on? Who are you?
Paddy goes, "Your worst nightmare."
Yeah.
And Max just goes, Do you know what that feeling is, son? He's like, "No." He's like, "That's a broom handle nose."
Well, it's the fact Max even calls him Flower, because he goes, "Who are you?" He's like, "He wears nightmare flower." As Paul's trying to say, "Calm down, lads, calm down. We don't know heroes." Right, now get up slowly. Slowly, do you hear me? It's a gun, get up. What is it you want? Money? She's got money. Shout. She's loaded.
She's loaded, yeah.
As he shouts to Paula, "Give me your bag. Go get help. Phone me mum." As they drag him off.
Ring me mum.
Don't be told to put his dick away as well.
Yeah. Do you want to put that away, son?
Yeah.
But so Max and Paddy will lead him away. "Get up, will you?"
Yeah, he tripped. He always stumbles, doesn't he? Paddy stumbles. "Oh, going them all over me face. Fake Armani's."
I'm getting muddled over my Armani copies.
Yeah.
Jesus, Max, get him down there.
Don't tell him
my name, dickhead. We're going to kill him anyway.
We'll kill him anyway, yeah.
Please, lads, come on, look, I'll do anything. I'll get you anything. I can get you proper Armani's.
Paddy goes, "Oh, yeah, can you get Versace?"
Cheers, well.
That's Max. You'll be able to get as many Versace as you want when you get your money.
Money, is that what you're after?
Whatever it is, whatever they're paying you, I'll double it. I'll triple it. You can have my car. Paddy, what sort of car is it? Max says, "Look, it's not frigging swap shop." So Max pushes him down as he's like begging, and Max holds the gun out. "Go on, kill him. You what? Go on, shoot him." And he's still begging. "Shut up. Shoot him now." Yes.
So Paddy holds the gun out at arm's reach towards him, and he's sort of like looking away and wincing, and bracing himself, and he's like, "Yeah, I can't do it." And then hands the gun to Max, doesn't he?
He says, "I can't do it." You don't have a problem with our terrier when you blew his back leg off. So he's still begging as he hands the gun to Max, saying, "I can't do it." And then we see Paula sat in the driver's side of a car smoking, and just hear the sound of a gunshot. Paul's lying on the field with his eyes shut as we cut to Paddy.
"You missed! From there? Did you miss from there?"
How you missed from there?
"I didn't miss." And Max pulls out $3,000.
Yeah, it's an envelope, and he gives it to Paul. It's £3,000 there. What? $3,000? Where's that gun? Get off you. You've had your chance. Take it. Go abroad. Don't come back. If you come back, we'll find you and we'll kill you. Right? Yes, Max.
Yes, Max.
Right, now get after
Max
it.
is
Before I
just
change my mind.
Max is just there as soon as like Paul goes, okay, Max. He's like, for fuck's sake, Paddy.
Yeah.
$3,000? Think about it. He's gone. He won't come back. She's happy. She thinks he's dead. We're happy. We got our money. Think about it, Patrick. It'll do for me.
Yeah.
Right, let's finish it.
Now, there's a little bit here when they're walking back over to the car, and they go past this sort of like post that's like sort of like, I'm guessing has like a gate which just basically opens up to sort of like a track through sort of like the grassy bit where they've done the deed. And there's I think it's an outtake that's specifically on the Phoenix Nights DVD, and they're sort of like they're going through this sort of like this farm gate bit, but I think it's Paddy falls over and he's got the broom handle Mauser, so as soon as he hits the floor, the gun goes off, and like Peter Kay's still in sort of like character of Max. He's just sort of like there going, "What are you doing? Get up, you daft bastard!"
That might be on the DVD actually. So
I'm pretty sure it's on the DVD because I've had a look at like outtakes on YouTube and I can't find it anywhere. Or it might be a Mandela effect.
Could be.
It might be a Mandela effect.
There's one of the ones. There's one of the ones with Max and Paddy where they're doing something. It's either possibly the one in the next episode or the another bit where he's doing the Max voice. So come on now, come on, get in character. And Paddy's voice. I need a minute. I'm going.
I know which one it is.
Well, it's then they keep cracking up though, but Peter Kay stood there dressed like Max, and you'll see him like popping to break character and go. And he's like, "What are you doing? Like, come on, you're supposed to be Paddy the Doorman." And it's like it's weird seeing Peter Kay's voice come from that, like the Max character.
Yeah, that does make sense. Actually, it'd be a bit weird. It'd be a bit weird if I suddenly just changed my voice now. It's like, that's not you. It's very very strange. But yeah, I think I actually recall the scene you're on about actually in the outtake, and it is very jarring, really, really jarring. It's like, that's not you. Like, you're not. That's not Max. You're not Max. Who are you?
But this like particular outtake, like I forgot to mention like a little thing. As soon as like Paddy hits the ground, guns go off. You just hear like Peter Kay as Max in the background just go, "Shit!" It's like, "What are you doing? Get up, you daft bastard!"
Imagine it'd be scary though, because obviously it's not gonna have live rounds in it, but obviously blanks. They're just as loud.
They're just as loud, yeah.
So
back to the episode. We cut to Paula sitting in the car. She's still smoking. Her expression drops when she sees Max and Paddy walk out up to the dirt track as they walk over Max's car. Is it over? I heard the gunshot. It's done, love.
It's like, oh God, have I done the right thing? And Max just goes, "It's a bit late for that."
Like, go on, get out of here. You didn't see us.
She drives off, and then they watch as Paddy starts smiling. £1,000, ding dang do. Step your Uncle Max, Patrick. You won't go far wrong. So then we cut to it's probably the following day, I'm guessing, like a caravan showroom. Max is looking at one of them, which is 3995, and then we see him counting the money out into the guy's hand, and then driving out past sign us Big Joe's Kings of the Road, trailers for sale or rent, as we hear Born to be Wild by Steppenwolf.
Yeah.
Along with To Be Continued.
Yeah, a quick thing about that. Go on.
Yeah, I was just thinking it's the place where Max buys the caravan from. It's Big Joe's Kings of the Road. Obviously, Kings of the Road is sort of like a reference that will be, it's a reference that will be brought off in the Max and Paddy spin-off. But I'm just wondering if Big Joe's is whether that's sort of like a continuation again of the Max and Paddy spin-off from like the very first episode. where they sort of like they go to like purchase something for the caravan, and the guy that they go to purchase said thing from is called Joe. So I'm just wondering if it's like it's probably just a coincidence. Thinking about it, but don't know.
Could be.
Don't know. Having a clue.
What I do know is, obviously you're thinking obviously he's bought his motorhome now, which obviously we know now it goes into Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere. But it's not the same motorhome. If you look carefully,
no, it isn't.
Because what he buys in this area is a Ford Transit, but in Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere they drive a Fiat. So unless he's pulled another hit on somebody else, certain transit van wasn't available.
I bet that'll flag up in the commentary though, Max and Paddy.
I would hope so. I'd hope so. Which I'm looking forward to doing, but we're not there yet.
No, but we do cut to the end credits and we're back for an audition as we just see the photo of like a little dancing gorilla and we just see a little plastic gun and you just hear a crack and then it starts dancing to the music. As you see Brian off shot. I don't believe it. It's him again. It's him, look.
Yeah, I believe I gave the said person the moniker of the Phoenix Snatcher. Well, he's back again. And it's the music is Hey Macarena, which is just sort of like your main go-to song for like, I don't know, like school discos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You always stick that up. Always hear that at a school disco.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
And as you say, Brian's there just going, I don't believe it. It's him again. It's him again. And obviously, it ends, and Brian just goes, right, is that it? You do any more? And the bloke goes,
there's no more.
No, there's no more. And Brian just goes, right, we can fuck off.
Yeah.
And it seems to me that, like, not only do all the others who are sort of like watching the auditions crack up, they also seem to crack up the film crew as well.
Yes, they did. And do you know why? This is actually brought up on the commentary at the very, very end. Reason being, whilst they was filming it and did it, because I think all these auditions were one-timed to get the raw reaction, and it was falling super, super flat. No one was reacting to it. So obviously this is why Peter Kay sort of went, it's him again. He's back again. And then obviously it went flat, so he wanted a reaction.
Right.
And he said the obvious way of getting a reaction is to drop an F-bomb. Which is why he tells him to fuck off at the end. And he gets his reaction. So that's why the F-bomb is there. Because it's all scripted at that point, and it's like, right, I need to get some sort of reaction here to get the ending worthwhile. So he dropped an F-bomb. So there you go. That's why he dropped the F-bomb. It was a tactical one.
Interesting. Well, that's episode 5 of season 2 so far.
Yeah.
And,
that has come round quick. That has come round quick. Just think, it was 10 weeks ago we started season 2.
Yeah.
That is mental. Absolutely mental. And what
Sweet Baby Jesus and the Orphans.
Yeah, like I say, we've been doing these podcasts now for every 2 weeks since the beginning of March, because literally we started the first one. We recorded the first one literally, I think, a few days before lockdown. Or maybe a week before, perhaps.
Oof, I can tell you, actually.
Yeah, he's going to have a look. He's looking it up. But yeah, I think it was just before lockdown, because we did one episode before lockdown, and then the rest were in lockdown. So we had one episode that was somewhat normal.
So the first episode went live on the...
I think lockdown was like the 23rd of March, wasn't it? It started, so...
Episode 1 was the 20th of March.
Yeah, so it was 3 days before lockdown. So, yeah, we've been doing it through the entirety of the coronavirus pandemic.
Mm.
And it makes you realise how quick this year has fucking flown.
How quick this year has flown and how much we've gotten through.
Yeah, it does, because we've gone through nearly three seasons of Peter Kay comedy series, and we're not even done with them yet, because we're going to go back. We are going to revisit that Peter Kay thing, season 1, and we're going to do season 2 of the special features. Because I think they need covering, and covering in detail, because there's a fuck ton on there. You pay for these DVDs, you are getting your money's worth.
Well, we also need to. There's the other one I found, which I completely forgot about.
Oh,
which was,
yes.
Driven to Distraction.
Yes, we need to do this. This is the feature film that Peter Kay written and directed, wasn't it? Was it written and directed?
I think he wrote it, but it was more of a. I don't think it was a feature film as such. I think it's just like a two-parter. I think each episode like 40 minutes or something, or 40, possibly half an hour.
Ah, I thought it was a film.
No,
See,
it's just it was a TV special. I've watched it once. I'd admit my age here, 16 years ago.
Jeez.
So.
Well, that's 2 episodes sorted for you right there.
It also has, as like one of the bonus features, it has like his two appearances on Corrie that he had at the time.
Oh, yeah. Well, he has. It became a semi-regular character eventually, didn't he?
He had like a couple of episodes where he was like dating his character was like dating a barmaid or something.
Liz, he was dating.
There was one bit I saw. I think you can find on YouTube where he's like a builder or something, and he's in like someone's house. It's like a really quick like blink and you'll miss him. Like he just said, "Yeah, that's done now for you," then just walks out of shot.
All right.
So then the strangest thing I found last week, also searching on YouTube, was Peter Kay and Jimmy Savile.
Oh Christ!
Yes. Do we watch this car crash?
Well, it was on like a 3 or 4 minute clip where he looks really young, because it must have been like early on in his stand-up career, where it's like the usual. Now we've got a letter here. It's from someone called Peter, and they wrote to me. They gets Peter on, and he's like, "Oh, you wrote to me when you were 6, didn't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, because I wanted to sing the closing theme tune or something." So,
oh God, he's always fancied himself as a singer, hasn't he? Like I've always said it, but Jesus, yeah, Emmanuel, that was all innocent and fine back in the day, because all of his shit didn't come out until he died. So, but it doesn't make it right.
Nope.
No, BBC Ben-ward him, and rightly so.
Yep.
And anything Rolf Harris and all that. Anyway, not talking about that shit. Fuck those gentlemen. No, not literally. With a hot poker, preferably.
Stop talking.
Yes, I'm shutting up.
Yes, let's wrap up the episode anyway.
Quick, before I get myself into trouble.
Yeah, what do we actually think of this? Because I know, sort of like before recording, there was a case of like Paul just saying there wasn't too much meat in this sandwich.
Yeah, it was a bit thin on the. It was a bit. For me, it was not a bad episode. Don't get me wrong. It's season 2 of Phoenix Nights. If we're going to the butty shop, this is the one with the least filling for me. It was more it had a to be continued at the end of it, which is obviously this is meant to be seen in conjunction with the last episode. It's a 2-parter. And for me, because we're all wrestling fans on this podcast, this is what was known as the go home show, the show that set up the pay-per-view, or in this case, the end of the season. So it sets everything, all the balls in motion for the things to happen in the last episode of the season. Yeah. That is basically what this episode was there to do, and it's setting up the events of the final episode, and that's all it was there to do. It sets up the reason for the events that happened after Phoenix Nights as well, and why that came to pass, and why certain characters. I'm not going to spoil it in case you've not watched Phoenix Nights and you're watching it along with us. Because I'd hope there'll be someone that's like, right, I'm going to watch the episode and listen to us.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, I'm not saying, but it explains...
I think a few have done that, or people have watched it and then listened to us.
Yes.
But
that'd be nice if you could let us know and tell us you're doing that, because it's like, yeah, tell us what you're thinking on this journey, especially if you've not watched Phoenix Nights before.
Mm.
But, yeah, it's sort of like it explains how certain characters are able to do certain things after the events of this next episode. If that makes sense, without spoiling anything and being super vague about it.
I think for me, this episode does fall a little flat as well, because it's you barely see, there's like barely any Brian. Jerry's got about 5 lines and that's it, and they're all sort of very much like he doesn't really say much of anything really.
It's almost a throwaway character. You could actually replace Jerry's character with any other character in the show on this episode. Like, it doesn't have to be Jerry that comes in and kicks Brian's door in. It could have quite happily been Rave On or someone like that that come in and checked on him and make sure he was okay.
I think with sort of like, the whole like, I've broke my foot kicking the door in, that sort of ties into Jerry's like whole season arc. That like
he's hell.
Progressively more and more hurt as the season goes on.
Yeah, fair point, well made. But after that though, he may as well have not been there. It was more of like he was just there so that Brian could steal somebody's thunder, like he always does.
Yeah,
and that's all he was there to do. He has a bigger role, obviously, coming up. But like I say, this episode it is essential viewing if you're going to watch the last episode, because it sets everything up. But as a standalone episode, it is a little bit flat. It's probably the weakest of season 2. The only sort of standalone thing you've got in this is probably the actual ladies' night thing, but that's a setup for Max and Paddy to meet the person that hires them and sets that ball in motion. So, yeah, it was all right.
I was going to say that this was very similar to sort of like Robot Wars in season 1, where sort of like, the episode, the name of the episode doesn't really have like much of a contributing factor to it. Like the episode's called Ladies' Night, but like in terms of the actual Ladies' Night itself, it gets probably like 3-4 minutes worth of material.
Yeah.
Anything.
Yeah, and you get you get the joke for Holy Mary, and that's
about it.
That's about it. That whole arc was over and done with before the break. Yeah. It does, like I say, it's the catalyst of what goes on, so basically all the way to the end of Max and Paddy's Road to Nowhere. It's the catalyst for that. So you can't devalue its like contribution per se, because of obviously what goes on. Because if the Ladies' Night didn't happen, then the next 8 episodes doesn't happen.
No.
So,
well, I look at this episode as sort of like being a case of like Peter Kay going, could there possibly be sort of like, is there a possibility of like a spin-off show revolving around Max and Paddy? And I think if you look under that pretense, it really does work quite well.
Yes.
Because I think this episode is very in terms of lines that are incredibly quotable. Like there are some absolute corking lines in here, absolute cracking lines, and it almost sort of like it gives off the impression of just sort of like, oh well, the chemistry for sort of like Max and Paddy, sort of like they're the main focus of an episode. It's sort of like it somewhat gives like a catalyst of, oh well, if there was the possibility of doing like a spin-off revolving around Max and Paddy, I actually think like if the material for it's good, it could really turn into sort of like a really great spin-off series.
Mm-hmm.
But I will agree with you that it is the weakest episode of the season. But that's not necessarily saying that it's a bad episode.
No.
Because I still think it's really, really quite good. Although I do agree with you that it is a little bit flat in places. But I still enjoyed watching it. I still really enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I think the exchange between Max and Paula outside the club, that drags on a little bit. But it's a job, and I think Peter Kay knew what the role of this episode was going to be, was to set up a big finish. So it's like if you think about booking a wrestling match, we've all seen WrestleMania. You have the peaks and the troughs, You have to have a big match, and then you have a batch no one's asked about to let people recover somewhat. You bring people's down a bit to raise them back up again, and I feel like this is what this episode does.
I feel like it could have been done as either a one-off, if they did like something else for episode 5 leading into episode 6, which we'll come to next time.
Yeah.
But if they did like a Christmas special of like the Phoenix Nights or something, we're pretty much going through the storyline of Ladies' Night or something to there, which then sets up and leads into Max and Paddy.
Yeah.
And like it might have to be like an hour-long special or something, or like a 2-part special, where it'd go into the whole Ladies' Night thing, and then follow on with the whole the ending of season 2 sort of thing, and then leading into the spin-off.
Mm-hmm.
So, but there we go.
There we go. Yeah, indeed. But yeah, someone's going to say something, and it's completely escaped my brain. Yeah, I don't think I've got anything else to add, actually. I think that's summed it up perfectly. I mean, like you say, I think this is more. This episode would be more effective if it was seen as in conjunction with episode 6, which we don't really need to speak about yet until in 2 weeks' time. Next time. But yeah, don't write this episode off as such. We're not saying don't watch it. I feel it's essential. It's not a Leonard. It's not a Mark Parks.
No.
You need to watch this episode because it sets up episode 6 nicely.
Yeah.
But don't go in there expecting it to be the best episode. But it leads to better things.
And that's Ladies' Night.
Yeah.
So if anything, I think now, lads, it's time for some plugs.
It is. You can find me on the UK RAD Live podcast. We're on all the good podcast catchers out there, Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, you name it, we're on there. You can find us on Twitter at UK RAD Podcast. We're on Facebook. You can also find my alter ego, Steve, at Steve the Betrayer, or Steve AOT GTMP. He's a character in a podcast called Gunpowder, Treason, No Plot, which is a D&D real play podcast. You can find them at Treason No on Twitter.
You can find and debate with me on all good stuff, ranging from American football to pro wrestling. Find my Twitter handle at Loggers109. And also make sure that you're following my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Loggers109. We're recording this episode a couple of days after my birthday. Did like a birthday Warzone stream. And I managed to do something I've never done before. I managed to get X amount of followers during a stream, which was amazing. I got 4 in total, which is unheard of in my realm. So I'm up to 22 followers. 22! Oh, man! Goldberg! I'm up to 22 followers, on the road to 50, which would basically give me affiliate status on my Twitch channel. Come and pop down, twitch.tv/Loggers109.
get following. I've watched some of his stuff, and it is good quality content. And I even gave him a wave.
I've even done sort of like little highlight packages from sort of like my streams, and I'm going to put them into one full compilation and stick it on YouTube.
Good lad.
At some point, once I get enough content.
The only thing I can really follow up with is why me? Why me? Why me?
Because I'm the stowaway, that's why.
And so, of course, you can follow the Phoenix Pod through our Facebook, our Lost Art Facebook channel, which is Lost Art Podcast, and you can find us on Twitter at Lost Art Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at Lost Art Podcasting and on Instagram at Lost Art Podcasting. You can find our sister pod, The Lost Art of Wrestling, on Facebook. They're on Twitter at LAOW Podcast. And, of course, you can find all our podcasts on Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, Castbox. Name it, we're on it. If not, let us know and we'll get on it.
Absolutely. We want to be...
We'll shit them.
Yes. We will shit them.
We will shit them.
We just won't come last.
Well, for the Phoenix Pod, I've been AXC.
I've been stupid and allegedly sexy.
And I've been stowing away.
Is that it?
Next!
Right, well, then fuck off.
Next!
Get him off! Get him off the stage!
Get him off! Get him off!
What's she doing?
$8,000.
What's she doing? She only had 4.
Grand.
The broom-handled Mauser.
Broom-handled Mauser.
Shut up, you soft bastard.
Is AXC going to stop the recording? Any?